Holy crap, guys. The stock market's collapsing like no other right now after the CPI data was released this morning at 8:30 a.m. on the East Coast. So we got to break down what I'm seeing in the markets right now, stocks I'm looking at, and of course, we got to go over the CPI report. So sit back, relax, and let's dive into the video. And by the way, if you want 13 stocks for Mumu, use that link down below, deposit at least $100, and boom, you get 13 stocks, each up to $2,000, and you could also get 12 stocks from Webull with any amount deposited. All those are linked down below, and let's dive into the video, guys. So as you can clearly see, Triple Q is down 3.5% as I'm filming this. We have SPY down 2.6%, Russell down 2.4%, as the Dow is down 2.3%, and we have the VIX up over 25. VIX is up about 8%, and it's only 10:30 a.m. on the East Coast, guys. We're only 1 hour in, and pretty much all of this selling came at about 8:30. The second the CPI data came out, you guys can see Triple Q went from 314 down to about 303, so it initially dropped 3% just like that, and now it's down even more from that point. And SPY, the second the CPI data came out, went from 415 to about, I think, 403. Yeah, 403. It dropped 2.7%, and now you guys can see it's down a little bit more from that point. So we are completely and utterly collapsing right now. Metals are dumping, silver and gold. We have Bitcoin and Ethereum, although we're not going to break them down in this video. Just know, guys, those are not doing well right now either. So let's just pull up quickly the CPI report. We'll take a look at it and talk a little bit more about the reason why we are falling. So let's talk about that first. In my opinion, the reason is because this came in worse than expected. We were expecting, and you guys probably know this if you've been watching the videos, and if you haven't been, what are you doing? Make sure to subscribe to that channel or this channel and hit that like button while you're at it, guys. We saw inflation for the month of August increase 0.1%, as you guys can see here, on a seasonally adjusted basis after being unchanged in July. And that equals an 8.3% pretty much annual number before the seasonal adjustment. And if you've been watching the channel, guys, you knew that we talked about this. CPI was projected to be pretty flat for the month. So it surprised, came in a little bit hotter than expected, and that freaked out the markets. We saw a big drop like we saw on SPY and Triple Q, and we'll go back to that in a couple of minutes and break it down a little bit more in depth, so make sure you guys stick on throughout this video. So you can see July was unchanged, like I said, after a very hot June, 1.3% in June, 1% in May, 1.2% in March. You guys remember that? March was crazy. We saw a little bit of an increase in August. It went to 0.1%. And looking at the categories here, let me make sure you all can see them, and I actually have room to make my face a little bit bigger there. We can see here the categories have pretty much, especially in energy, they've continued to decrease. You know, if you haven't noticed, gas prices, I'm not sure where you are, but pretty much, you know, all across the U.S. have come down a lot. I know here in New Jersey, they almost hit $5.05, or maybe a little bit over $5. I forget exactly where they peaked. Obviously, it depends on where you are. But here, about $5. Now gas is at about $3 and I think 60 cents. So we can see energy in general declined by 5% in August. Energy commodities 10.1%. Fuel oil, or that's actually gasoline, all types, 10.6% decline, 5.9% decline for fuel oil. And you guys realize, and you can see the numbers year over year for the past 12 months are still very high for energy, but the past two readings, you got to realize it's come down. It's been slowly deflating a little bit, which is good, but it's still very hot. You got to realize that. But I guess it's moving in the right direction, which we want to see it go down, continue to go down. And if we look here at new vehicles, that actually increased a little bit for the month. August, it was 0.8. July, it was 0.6. Same with, it looks like, used cars and trucks. That increased. It was negative 0.4 in July, and now it's negative 0.1 in August. And still, those are high year over year. New vehicles, 10%. Used cars and trucks, 7.8%. Apparel increased a little bit. And what really increased or actually not really actually. Well, a little bit. Food away from home increased to 0.9% from 0.7 in July, but we saw food at home and drop a little bit, and food in general go up from 0 in July to 0.1%. So don't get it twisted, guys. Inflation is still here. We got a hot CPI data report today, which is moving down the stock market, and we'll see. I mean, September, I was looking at some numbers for this month that we're in right now. We're only in the middle of September. Inflation could get hotter. It could get hotter, guys, based on some things that I've been seeing. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Make sure to hit that like button if you haven't done so already. And let's talk a little bit more about SPY, Triple Q, what I'm seeing on these charts, and then we'll take a look at some stocks in a second here. So SPY right now is looking a little bit it's looking like bears came in, obviously. We can see here on the 20-day chart, we got rejected clearly at a lower high, which goes to show bears overall are still in charge. We did get a lot of bullish momentum, no doubt about it, but the fact that we failed at the highs from the end of August, being about 415, 420, that's not a good sign. Now, if we got a push through this point, that would have been great for the bulls, but we just clearly did not get that on the 20-day chart. And Triple Q, same thing, right? Clearly didn't break 312, which I talked about in my video yesterday and the past couple of videos. We clearly got rejected at a lower high, and we're clearly still in a downtrend. You guys see this? So it's not looking good in the short term for the bulls, obviously, but if we start to get momentum at some point, which now we're at under 300, but at some point, if we start breaking past 315, 320, I'm sticking to it, guys. In the short term here, we could start getting a reversal, but obviously, it's not looking like we're getting that anytime soon. The markets are in free fall, no signs of a support, no signs of buyers coming in, nothing. It's just continuously going down and down and down. So let's break down some stocks now that I'm looking at. Well, really just one in particular. Then we'll look at the watch list here very quickly before we wrap the video up. Oracle reported yesterday, and I forgot to talk about it. This company did pretty decent. I mean, well, I guess they missed on EPS. Well, I guess that's not decent. They missed on EPS and revenue, but their cloud numbers are looking good. We'll talk about that in a second. So they reported $1.03 EPS, which missed the $1.07, so they missed on that. And they missed on revenue. Like I said, $11.45 billion versus $11.46 billion estimated. So double miss, but funny enough, revenue was still up 18% year over year. And looking at the cloud, let me show you all. Well, you can't see this, but I have notes written here on my iPad, guys. Their cloud revenue was $3.6 billion for the quarter, which is up 45% year over year in US dollars. And Oracle has been trying to shift customers more to their cloud. There's more profit there, guys, of course. And their the cloud-based version of their database and their software. So at this point, Oracle, it's holding up, actually. It's pretty much at break even. It's holding the gains that it got after the earnings. If you guys take a look here, these earnings came out yesterday after the bell. It shot up to about $78.50 after these earnings, and it closed at $77. So it shot up $1.50, and then even this morning it shot up to $79.50. So it hit almost $80. Now we're pulling back. This looks pretty good. I actually like this as a trade here in the short term, especially if we start to get a push past $80 a share. I'm going to set my alert there right now. Mark is at or above $80 a share. If that point is able to break, guys, I'm telling you, we got some upside here. We have upside mid-80s, maybe even higher from that point. We shall see. So that is Oracle, ticker symbol ORCL. And the crazy thing, guys, it's one of those days, it's a bad day. It's a bad day in the stock market when everything on the watch list is red except for freaking DWAC, guys. DWAC is somehow green today. I mean, you cannot make this crap up. I say this all the time. We have, every time it seems like we have a deep, nasty red day, which is what this is. This is a nasty red day so far. It seems like every time DWAC, Digital World Acquisition Corp, somehow is pushing green. Same with GameStop. Although today GameStop's not participating in that. It's down, but a lot of the time the meme stocks are up too, randomly on, really bad red days. Not today, but sometimes they are. And it seems like DWAC is every time we have a red day. So DWAC is green today, and everything else on my watch list is red. As you guys can see, it is a freaking bloodbath out there in the stock market today. But this is good, depending on the perspective you have. Me personally, I love the stock market for, a long-term investing, from a long-term investing lens. I think if you bet on the S&P 500, if you bet on the world, and you buy whatever indexes that track solid companies like the S&P, VTI, VOO, VT, you're going to do well long-term. And in times like these, I love buying into those ETFs, into the core of my portfolio. And of course, I like buying individual stocks, which in this case, we're not really at a point where we're crashing enough to the point where a lot of individual stocks for me have come on sale just today. We're not there yet, but I've said this before. I'll say it again. There's two stocks that I want to buy during this bear market that I really want to buy that I've been patient on. And those are Adobe, ADB. That's one of them. It's down 5% today. If this were to get down to 330, maybe a little bit under 330 to be honest, 300 to 320, I'm going to be buying Adobe. Now it's at 377. We're almost there. And if Nvidia gets down to 100 to 115, 110, I'm going to be buying Nvidia. These are two stocks that I would love to add to my long-term portfolio. And the way I look at it, guys, a lot of people panic when they see red. I'm looking at it like, awesome. Bring it on. Let's get these stock prices down to prices that I want to buy and pay for them to get a nice return for the long term. Because a lot of people mix it up. They think, oh, just buying a good company means I'm going to get a great return long term. That's not true, guys. Let's say if you bought Apple, or let's say Nvidia, for example. Let's say you bought Nvidia, which is a great company in my opinion. Let's say you bought it at 350, although you're in a great company, which is Nvidia. You overpaid for that company. You bought at a price where you're not going to make a great return long term. You might, who knows if Nvidia even ever gets back to 350. I think it will, but if it doesn't, you're never going to make your money back. But let's say you bought Nvidia even here at 135, that's where you'd want to, well, I'm not going to say you want to buy it here, but the point I'm trying to make is if you're buying into a very big bubble stock, it's a great company, but the stock's overvalued, you're not going to do well long term. You're going to want to buy stocks when they're getting destroyed like they are right now. And I'm not telling you what to do, but I'm just saying my opinion and kind of what I've seen and what's worked for me. I've made more money on stocks that I've bought when they've been hammered than on stocks that I was chasing and FOMOing into, right? And it all takes patience, guys. It all takes patience. So with that being said, I'm going to wrap the video up. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe. And do not forget to get your 13 stocks from Moomoo. Link down below with a $100 deposit. Each of those could be up to $2,000. And you could also get 12 stocks from Webull with any amount deposited. All those are linked down below. And just know, guys, all those links help out the channel. And I appreciate you all as always. So I'll catch you in the next video. Peace out.